morning, hearing from leaders across education, health, and public health. But I think what we want to do now is just bring it back to the heart of why we're all here. So I'm really pleased to introduce Deontay McClendon, who's going to be moderating the next session. Cool kids show up. I realise I sound distinctly uncool saying that. But never mind, that's called getting old, isn't it? So Deontay is the founder of Unlearning Youth LLC. He's a youth engagement consulting firm dedicated to centering youth and young adults in decision making and development across schools and communities, both locally and nationally. Through facilitation, consulting and training, Deontay supports youth-serving organisations and companies in creating meaningful opportunities for young people to lead, reflect and shape the systems that impact their lives. As the facilitator of the National Thriving Schools Youth Council for the past 2 years, Deontay has guided students from across the country through in-depth work on chronic absenteeism, empowering them to design and implement initiatives in key areas within their own schools. He's based in Houston, so this has been quite a trek for him. His work bridges equity, engagement, and empowerment to ensure youth voices are not only heard, but most importantly, drive real, relevant, and sustainable change. Please welcome to the stage Deontay and our youth panel.
All right, good morning, everyone. Oh, y'all sound good. Good morning, good morning. This is going to be an exciting time. Spoiler alert, this is going to be the best session all day long, all right? All right, so everyone else was great, and after lunch, but this is going to be the best session, okay? So we're looking forward to that. As she said, we're excited to be here. We have 4 amazing students that will be coming up shortly. But 2 things I think that are important for this conversation. One, we're centering the voice of students, but not just students, but their lived experiences, as well as the lived experiences of their peers, which is very important. So the students that you see today, they not just represent themselves, they represent their campus, they represent their peers, they represent their cities. So they have larger voices than what you'll hear today. And secondly, I ask that we all check our adult privilege. As adults, we have privilege of things, to go places and do things at our own leisure, and sometimes our students do not know how to do that, even with the conversations we're having. We're not affected by it day to day, so we want to hear those conversations and get practical things from our students. So can we, now this is, I need your help on this. We got to treat them like they're the most important people in the room. Can we welcome all 4 of the amazing panelists for today? Imani, Amy, Thomas, and Michael. All right, first, how y'all feeling?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know how they did that all together. We didn't practice that. So quickly introduce yourself. Let us know about you. You don't have to tell us the information that's behind you. We can see that. So just tell us who you are and one thing you're looking forward to for the conversation.
Oh, we're starting with me?
Sure.
Okay. My name is Imani Smith. I go to Baltimore Design School. I see we have some BDS fans in the house. I am looking forward to just giving adults the insight that they really need for this topic. And that's really it.
Hello, my name is Amy. I go to Cherry Creek High School in the Denver metro area of Colorado. Some just like random fun facts, I have a pet bird and I like to swim. And I'm really excited to just be here and excited to be able to give you guys, people who actually care, some insight on what youth actually feel in schools and what they see with chronic absenteeism.
Yeah, so my name is Thomas Owagu. I'm from Shreveport, Louisiana. I go to Caddo Magnet High School in Caddo Parish, and I'm really excited to be here to not only represent my community, but the National Thriving Schools Council, and to give you all insight on my perspective on everything. So thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Michael Famba. I attend Baltimore City College. Yeah, Yeah, my insight is really to just give everyone a perspective on like, much as like my peers said, insight on how a teenager thinks, like on why they want to skip schools, on like how they really think and how they like might want to just leave the school. Yeah.
Awesome. So let's jump into the conversation. What is something, and I'll ask this to each of you. What is something that gets you excited to go to school?
I think for me, something that excites me to go to school is to see the people that I really care about, and also classes that I feel like I'm very strong in. I feel like it's very fun for me to be able to help my peers when they don't understand something, especially in my favorite subject as of current, pre-calculus.
That woo means that's no one else's favorite. I know exactly what that means. They admire that. Amy?
Something that really motivates me and makes me excited to go to school is my teachers. A lot of them have helped me through a lot, and also my parents. It's just like I feel the urge to like make them proud, and I just don't want to let them down. And then also seeing all the friends that I care about and making sure that I'm there day to day to make sure that they're also doing well makes me happy.
Yeah, so I'd probably say my friends, of course, my teachers, and the courses I can take and classes I can take at school that probably most align with what I want to do outside of college and after high school. So, and of course, the prep rallies and picnics and fun events.
All which are important to making a school a welcoming environment. So,
One of the things that I would really say is a reason why I want to go to school is really sports, like especially like the soccer team, like the team itself, which gives me like confidence to go to school every day, like how we build connections and really friends, like Thomas said. Yeah, those are one of the two things that make me want to go to school every day.
awesome. Consequently, I'll ask the question on another side. What are some of the challenges that you all have seen that have impacted your peers into not showing up at school, health related or not? I'll start with Amy for that one.
So this is actually at an elementary school level and was a local initiative that I worked on, and it was the drop-off time. So the drop-off time for the school starting was conflicting with the time that a lot of parents started their work. So what we found that helped was a before school program, but one that kids actually wanted to go to. Because a lot of the previous before school programs were kind of a bit boring for kids, just like sitting there, maybe like reading a book. But we tried something new, which was cyber leaders. So essentially teaching the kids how to code or use robots. And we saw that a lot of kids just became a lot more excited to come to school and then would like ask their parents, hey, can I go to school today? Which, because of the easier drop-off time, was possible. And then there was increased attendance, and they also got breakfast. So that was definitely great.
Yes. One friend that wait. Yeah. Yes. So one friend that I had that was struggling with coming to school, also in the elementary level, was in fifth grade. I had a friend named Justice, and the issue he had with coming to school every day was an issue that was with his weight. He had problems with weight, and so he took these pills that he missed over 100 days of school with, and he took pills that caused him to gain a heavy weight, and that was a heavy problem for him to come to school. So I just wanted to mention that as Amy finished up. Yeah, that's one of the biggest issues of going to school is also the health issues, the issues with going like, because I know that health plays a heavy impact of going to school because it's about your education and how your mind is how good and clean your body is.
Anyone else want to weigh in on that one? All right. So, what are some of the impacts that you think missing school has on your peers, or including yourself? Whether it's truancy, sickness, or even just traveling? Because what do you think are some of the ways it impacts students returning to campus or being on campus?
Well, I think it can overall be a disconnect. I think it can lead to a disconnection of their peers, whether that be their friends or teachers, and also disengagement between their studies. So their grades can start dropping, or they're not really learning the information. And I think overall, this goes beyond the classroom. This then goes into when these teens are now young adults, and you can start to see mental health problems grow. And I think one of the key um, components could be loneliness and anxiety. But I also think I like to use this example, COVID-19. I think that, especially for my generation, when we didn't see our peers for months or years, we lost a lot of crucial skills, such as like social skills, and also just we weren't really pertaining the information, and we still see gaps today, just like that. I also want to bring up my local initiative, which I kind of did to help combat that, is I set up a booth at school, and I made I called it stress relief bags, and so this was all before the week before major testing, so this would hopefully calm down anxiety and really connect with other kids at my school. So that's what I did. Yeah.
So, Thomas, really quick, can you share what was inside your bag or some of the items?
Oh yeah, so
I knew it.
yeah, so I had motivational quotes. I had a stress ball. I had little pieces of sour candy because for me, I read something and it said that sour candy can help reduce stress. So I like to add sour candy. But I also had yeah, motivational like wristbands and stuff. So
Okay. I feel as though, well, something that I kind of noticed, one of my peers had missed school like chronically. And it got to a point where he just started to say, well, it doesn't matter. Like, he feels as though he's already let people down. So I feel like when it comes to missing school a lot, sometimes it can lead to like feelings of like BPD, because it's like you wanted to go to school to kind of like make other people like proud of you, and when you start to fail like at a lot of those things, even if it's unintentional, like you can start to feel like you don't know what you're here for anymore. So I feel like to kind of combat that, it was just like telling him like you can't not go to school because it's just going to keep continuously leading to this feeling, and eventually you're going to fail. If you fail, that's kind of like the biggest disappointment of all, like when it comes to your parents. So I feel like with just being motivational and telling them it's not the end of the world when they're failing now, they just have to pick up a few pieces, and I offered to help.
And I think I'll kind of piggyback on what Thomas has said in regards to the pandemic. What grade were you all in during the pandemic? What grade were you?
I think I was in 7th,
Okay.
or wait,
I know it
somewhere
was a
in
long
middle
time
school,
ago.
Yeah,
somewhere
I
in
know
yeah,
it's a
it
long
was
time.
seventh grade. It was seventh.
So we're now seeing the long-term effects of students that are understanding what is going on. And I think that's a big thing because none of us were inside the classrooms like that as students when that happened. So I think it's a big thing to kind of combat misunderstandings. What are some things that you feel adults misunderstand on why students miss school?
I feel like a lot of the times adults like to, no offense, guys, but y'all like to kind of they like to make up their own excuses as to why a kid is late. So they'd be like, oh, why were you late? You just wanted to skip school and miss school. But they don't actually want to sit down with the child and have a deeper conversation. Yes, sometimes the children they shrug their shoulders and they say, well, I don't know, it doesn't matter, like it doesn't care. But really, that's kind of fight or flight reflex. They do it because they feel as though they're in trouble. And a lot of the times kids do things when they're in trouble that can get them in even more trouble. So I feel like actually sitting down and having, oh my God, actually sitting down and having the conversation with the child and telling them that they're not in trouble, you just want to really figure out why is really important.
Really building off of that, like, teachers often don't understand sometimes why a student has been absent. So my friend has postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, which really affects her ability to go to school. So she can only make it about once a week, and her illness isn't very visual. So I had a teacher who, when she was gone and when she came back, he would just not understand at all, and he would just give her all of the work, and that would stress her out even more, because now she knows that when she is feeling well enough to come back, she's going to have all of this work to make up, and the teacher is going to make her make it all up. So that kind of led to a sense of kind of impending doom, which was really stressing her out and worsening her condition, because now when she's feeling well enough to go to school, she has to deal with the fact that it's going to be stressful, and she has kind of like this repeating cycle of anxiety towards school now.
Yeah, I feel like POTS is no joke. As a person who kind of suffers from undiagnosed POTS, it's really bad because it can be a numerous of things that act up. Like, it can be your salt intake's low, or your electrolytes are low, or it can be too hot. And it's just like a lot of these components can make you pass out or fall out. And sometimes when you're finally going back to school, it can seem like you're causing a scene, when in all actuality, it's something big.
I totally agree with that, and she's not very vocal about it, so sometimes she'll just be laying on the floor, and people will look at her funny, like, what is she doing on the floor? And she's really having like a medical emergency, and people just sometimes don't understand that.
Yeah, and I also think it could just be a lack of awareness or knowledge on chronic absenteeism, or maybe mental health in general. And I think that a lot of adults see it through the lens of laziness, when in reality, majority of the students just want to come to school and learn, but there are barriers that prevent them from doing that. And I I think school's just stressful in general. I don't think I, I don't think there's a lot of time for students to go to decompressing areas in a school, because every school has a library or some other relaxing area, but it's about how much time do you use it and how much time the students get to use it. But yeah, that would be my answer to that.
Yeah, coming off what Thomas said about having the time and yeah, the time of having to decompress and get to release some of this stress that most students are having. I agree with that because most students they tend to just like let their depression just sink in and just not like, as Thomas said, there are places where you can go to receive that help, but they like it's less time of them because in the school there's so much time that they spend on learning, and so they just don't have enough time to go decompress.
And when I hear you say breaks, it's also transition breaks between classes. You're in class for an hour with a 5 minute transition break to go to the restroom, to talk to your friends, to make a TikTok, whatever you got to do in that 5 minutes. But you really don't have time to even breathe.
Yeah, when it comes to that transition time, me myself, it's like it's barely 5 minutes. Like, it flies by so fast. So it's like as soon as even if you don't do anything, like for me, when it comes to me having to switch from the floor four, if for the people in here who know the BDS building, the floor, getting from the fourth floor, like all the way down to like the fashion lab, it's like that takes up all of my time during transition. And it's just like when we get there, the teachers are like, oh, yeah, you need a late pass. I'm not even a minute late and I need a late pass. Now I'm missing more instructional time. So I feel as though sometimes it could also be the teachers. Some teachers are very lenient and some teachers are just teachers. Like, some of the teachers kind of just like are not helpful with the students at all. And I think that's one of the reasons a lot of the times the students don't want to come to school because it's just like if you know you've missed a certain time in a class and you're like, oh my god, this teacher's so mad at me, she's always yelling at me, she doesn't even help me understand. And it's just like you don't no longer want to come to school because you're not getting the support you need when it comes to understanding certain things with instructions.
Thank you for that feedback, and I'm going to build on that. From what you all are saying, I'm hearing intentionality from authorities, whether it's admin or teachers. What kind of support do you think would encourage you and your peers? And now, understanding these are some sharp students. There are some other students that don't have that support, that do not have that ecosystem of encouragement around them. So, what kind of support? What does it look like for your campus, for your school, for your peers? Let's make that practical. And you can take a second to think about it if need be. But I would just like to think about that.
I think more individualized support would be really helpful, and just getting really to each student's reason for missing school. Because I know that this has worked at my school where there was a student who was missing almost every day but of just a single class. And so her counselor pulled her out, amazing counselor, and she was like, hey, what's going on in this class? And it turns out she was being bullied by a group of kids in that class. And intervention from the teacher didn't stop it, so they moved her to a different class, and the issue was solved. She loved going to that class and learned a lot. So just going from individual to individual, because there often is a legitimate reason why kids are missing school. Similarly, kind of going back to the health issues and having to miss school, a credit recovery system so that students don't lose hope for their futures would be really helpful, because sometimes after they've already seen how their grades have dropped and how people kind of like say that they've failed, then they just lose motivation.
Building off of that, when we were kind of discussing things that would like help kids want to show up for school, little fact about me, I'm a big overthinker. So even if I'm having a discussion, my mind is still running at like 100 miles per hour. So during this whole conversation, I had conceptualized this idea where it was like having this recovery program. I called it EARS, which is Educational Academic Recovery and Support System. And it's basically where kids get individualized help, whether they suffer from dyslexia or ADHD or anything of the sorts. And they have that ability to get more help. And also for the people who are already down and are failing, they have tutors that can help them build their grade back up.
They not clap for no one else's session today. Y'all must be good. So wrapping up this, are y'all enjoying the conversation? So to wrap up, to be practical, you all, now this is not gonna be the question that we planned. So I wanna ask you all, because you all show up for your peers a lot. You're on the front line advocating, but you're still students. You're still human. You're still student leaders. How can adults in this room or in the positions support you to support your peers?
I'd say just checking in on students. I'll use my school for an example. My counselors, they check in on us every month. So even when your grades are starting to drop, they'll bring you in, they'll start talking to you. If you need help, they'll get you help. And they're people that you can connect with and you can talk with, because I think that's what our staff needs in schools. Faculty that can really connect with their students and relate to. So.
I just want to say thank you so much, you all, for being here and caring about our futures. It means a lot to us, and the fact that you guys are all here really motivates me to go to school and just like do my best.
Just taking our advice with all of this, and doing what you guys are doing now and trying to find solutions to solve the problem, I think is by far enough that you can do.
Yeah, just like as everyone else has said, like I think it's very like special for you all to be caring so much for our education and our future. So I just want to thank you all, as Amy said again. Thank you all again. Thank you much, and yeah. And also, one way I think that adults like you can support us as children is maybe by um, trying to like put like not I wouldn't say force it, but try to like ingrate it into us as children, especially when we're already as children, like in elementary. Try to have us with that positivity and that mindset as a young child.
Though the panel is ending, and thank you to John Hopkins University and Attendance Works and Kaiser Permanente. This has been an awesome opportunity. Though the panel is ending, may the conversation with students continue. Thank you.
I just wanted to, again, say a huge thank you to all of you. Your honesty, your insight, your courage, your truth are why we're all here. So I really hope that everyone in the room takes the opportunity of lunch to come and speak to some of the people you've just heard from. I would recommend you do it on the balcony. We have an amazing view. The sun is shining, I think. So please step outside, get some fresh air, stretch your legs, and try and find a new connection. We are coming back at 1 o'clock, and we will be moving into our breakout sessions, the details of which you can see on the screen here. So we will be using this room, and we will be using a room that's just through the back there. Many of you have signed up for breakout sessions, and your badge on the back will tell you which room you are going to. Those of you that haven't signed up yet, don't worry, you are still very, very welcome. I would encourage you to come and find us in the back room for the first session, and then in this main room for the second session. But yeah, that brings this morning to a close, and I just really would love everybody in the room to join me in thanking our amazing youth and Deontay for his facilitation again.